Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dead Buddy. This main event edition of Dead Money is brought to you by cash games. They're way better than tournaments. So, the World Series of Poker main event is going on as we speak. As I record this, it's day 2A. And look, if you've never played the main event before, it's a hell of a tournament. Probably the best in the world. I suppose it's the busiest time of year for the World Series with the cash games and everything because everybody's so excited by it. And, every year I have little fantasies about playing it. I mean, what poker player doesn't? But I haven't played it since 2013. I played 2 times, 2012 and 13. So I'm just going to tell you about those 2 times I played it. Now, I've played very few tournaments, probably 25 or 30. When I got here at the end of '08, my first World Series was '09, of course. And 9, 10, 11, and 2012, I probably played about maybe 6 or 7 World Series tournaments, busted all of them. They were all like either $1,000 or 1,500 events. And I went into the 10K. I took all the action myself. Most people, they sell action for the main event regardless of their bankroll. They just don't want to fire 10K at one tournament. And look, if you want to be perfect and technical about this, I shouldn't have been firing 10,000 either. I mean, but the way I looked at it is, I can afford this, okay? And, I could put up 7,000 and sell off another 3K, maybe get a little markup. I don't know. I mean, either way, at that point, if I'm firing 7K at the main event, I mean, what's another fucking 3,000, I mean, it's a nice problem to have to win a couple million and then out, hundreds of thousands of dollars to people who took a piece of you, but I didn't want that to happen. Just give me the whole thing. I've never played on a stake. I think there was like one time when I played 10-20 at the Borgata before I moved out here that a couple friends pitched in for me to sit down with 3K. I think that's like the only time I ever went into a game and just didn't have all of myself. I'm not even saying that that's, the most practical thing to do. I mean, I could have played the main event these last 12, 13 years and, maybe only put up a couple thousand each time, maybe up to 5, and then just see who else wants action. I'm sure I could have raised some money for it. I mean, maybe not as much as I would have been looking for, but definitely something. So going into day 1 of my first main event, there were about 6,600 people. It was 27, and, I was just extra focused. I mean, there were numerous times throughout that first day 1 that I felt like I was about to make a mistake. Mistakes that I feel like I'm about to make in cash and just let myself make these stupid fucking mistakes. Bad bluffs, bad calls. But in this day 1, I was really pulling the reins on myself and told myself, stop. Don't fucking do this. So I played well through day 1. I think we started with 30,000 chips. And what did I bag? I don't know. Maybe like 45, 46, something like that. Come back on day 2 and things got a little crazy on this day. I had kind of a tough table. I had some good euros. I got into this spot where I was in the big blind. I think the flop was like Jack 6 or something. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it was. Maybe I had a gut shot. I think I had 10-8 of diamonds or 10-8 suited. And I just check raised this euro and he called. And I barreled the turn and he called. And I don't remember how this board ran out. I think it just ran out all low cards. And the pot had about 20K. I think I had about 20K, and I came close to jamming. I mean, I checked and gave up, and he checked down with king high. King 10. I mean, just double floating me. I mean, what's he going to do if I rip? He's going to call? I mean, I doubt it. I don't think so. I don't think he would have called the jam. But if I had bet, he may have put it in my face or something. So I think jam was my only way out of it, but I didn't go for it. Remember, I was in another tough spot against another euro where I checked probably top pair or something, and he overbet the river, and I just had a really bad feeling about that. I folded. He seemed like the type who was going to show bluffs, but he didn't show, so I felt good about that. Starting to get kind of low. I opened ace-deuce in the hijack, and the euro I just folded to his river overbet. He 3-bet cutoff. He was 3-betting me a lot. And I opened ace-deuce offsuit in the hijack. Jesus. I just 4-bet shoved and he snap folded, so okay. And then the euro who was floating me all day with king 10, I 3-bet aces from early position, and he cold 4-bet shoved, and he had kings, and he had me covered. I flopped an ace, so it wasn't too dramatic of a sweat. Then I got into another situation where I think I raised with pocket nines. I just know that the flop came 9 deuce 3, and our European friend was in the big blind. I think I called the raise. Yeah, that makes more sense. I think I called the raise in middle late position with nines from an early position raise, and then we probably went like 4 ways. And it comes 9 deuce tray, 2 spades. See better bets. I called, Euro overcalled, and I think the turn was a 5, offsuit 5. That 5 did make me a little nervous, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. I mean, my stack wasn't deep enough that, I am making some huge error if I put a lot of money in. So I want to say it went Euro checked, the razor bet again, then I raised, and then the Euro went all in. I mean, the other guy tanked for a while and folded. I think it was something like that. I don't remember this that well. But the Euro in the big blind who overcalled flop, he had 6-4 spades and turned the nuts. And I boated on the river. Real big shot. So I doubled against him, aces against kings, and then I put this beat on him. And, I mean, he had 6-4 suited, but there were two... did I say? I think I said he had 6-4 spades. He had 6-4 suited, and there were 2 spades on the flop. In other words, he didn't have 4 clean outs to the nuts. He only had 3.
And he did not have the flush draw. He only had the gut shot.
So, I don't know if he should be calling there. But either way, I cold deck him with aces against kings, and then I bad beat him to knock him out. So, I ran pretty good on day 2, all things considered. Which brings us to day 3, and I was on a good table, and I was playing good. I mean, I'm not saying I did everything flawless, but, I was really just dialed in these first few days. My first main event. Because it's a great tournament. I mean, look, you got 2-hour levels, you got a lot of chips to play with, you got slow increments of the how fast the levels move up. It screams, come play, cash game players. This is perfect for you. I got into a spot where there was I think maybe a cutoff raise and a button call, and I 3-bet king queen off, cutoff folded, and then the button back shipped. And the pot was big at this point. I'm getting a really good price, and I only have king queen offsuit, but I was really thinking about calling because of the price I was getting, and even if I lose, I'm not dead, I mean, but it's a big risk to be taking. But based on playing with the guy after a while, I just thought there's no way he has my hand crushed. He's not going to have my hand crushed. He's going to have either a pair, which I'm flipping with, or he's going to have ace jack, which I'm doing a little worse against than a small pair, but still getting the right price. And I tanked for a long time, and I called, and he had ace jack, and I hit a queen on the river. I mean, it's yeah, I got lucky, but it's I felt it just felt deserved when it happened. I mean, it just felt like I sized up the situation and that I deserved to win this money. I mean, if he had 3-bet the button himself, I'd probably just get out of there. But, I was catching some breaks. Playing well, and I caught some breaks. Show me a guy who won a tournament who didn't catch any breaks, right? So then I'm running the stack up, and I'm in a great spot here. And then they bring us this kid, and he's got some chips too. And, I mean, he looked real young. He probably was 21 looking at him. Then comes a hand where I think there was a hijack raise. I called 3s in the cutoff. And our new friend, he squeezes big blind. Original razor folds, I call with 3s again. And it comes king 10, 3, 2 clubs. And he bet, I raised, he jammed. I call, a snap call. I mean, maybe in today's game, against certain players, you gotta, if they're 3-bet shipping this flop, maybe bottom set ain't any good. But in this time, 2012, there's no way you're folding a set. And especially when you see, this is why. He had king jack offsuit. He had top pair, backdoor straight draw, no backdoor flush draw. This is a giant pot, and we're playing on day 3. This is a huge pot. The turn is a jack. Oh, that's cute. The river is another fucking jack. Oh my God. I mean, I can't imagine in the trajectory of where my poker playing career seems to be going that I will ever even come close to taking a beat as devastating as that one. I mean, ESPN was floating all over everywhere, because they were still covering, and they're just trying to catch anything that's interesting. I mean, if they had seen this, they just missed this by a minute. If they had seen this, they would have replayed that all fucking summer. That's exactly the kind of stuff they're looking for. You know, ESPN did an amazing job of selling to everybody that you could be the next champion, you know, and it's because of hands like this that get people thinking. And when I was paying this pot off, I wasn't sick, I wasn't tilted, I wasn't angry, I was sad. I was just fucking sad. I mean, you don't get your money in as a 95% favorite in a tournament. This doesn't fucking happen. I don't even play tournaments. This big of a favorite, for this big of a pot, in this prestigious of an event. Now all of a sudden, all these stupid things I used to get away with playing online and some really bad fucking blunders I made in cash games and 10 I mean, I sucked out in some big pots. All that fucking stupidity burned me right now. I just kept thinking I must have fucking deserved it to lose that ugly of a hand. He was 5%. I mean, if I win this pot, I would have been in the top 5 minimum chip leader in the whole fucking tournament. I'm not fucking kidding. This pot was huge. I probably would have been the chip leader. Now, I think it took 7 days to get to the final table in that year. Whatever it was, I know chip lead on day 3. I know I got a long way to go before we're talking about that kind of a run, okay? But this, J3, we're in this thing now, okay? We're out of the mud. There's no more A, B, C, and D. This was a massive pot, and I was about to be the chip leader. And I was not going to just dust it off thinking I can run everybody over. I know it's not over yet, but you are in the fucking driver's seat if you have the chip lead in a tournament like this on day 3. You are in the driver's seat. I mean, this kid was out the door. This kid was going back to wherever the fuck. And that was just the beginning of his day. That was just the beginning of this kid's life. I mean, he was hot the rest of the day. That wouldn't even be the last beat he put on me. I don't even remember, this is a long time ago. I mean, I remember there was a hand where he called a C-bet with an underpair. I think he hit pocket threes. He had an underpair. I had a pair. He turned a 3. And I felt like I was making a bad call on the river. And I did. And I mean, sick that he turned a fucking set with an underpair. But, this guy was just walking on water the rest of the day. I mean, after I took the bad beat, I remember within the next 5 or 10 minutes, I won another sizable pot. So that certainly helped stop the bleeding a little bit. But look, I did not come apart from this. I did not unravel. A lot of people would have. And I was not going to do that. But just what a devastating hand to lose. Devastating! We get towards the end of day 3, and then I think we're in the final portion of the day where they play this. They say 5 hands, 6 hands. They do some random thing where they tell you how many hands to play. I think it was during that, or maybe right before that. He raised under the gun. There may have been a call. I don't know. I 3-bet really big from the button with kings, and then he 4-bet me. The guy who's been walking on water all day, who took the chip lead from me by hitting a fucking runner 20 to 1 shot, getting all that on the flop with king jack. King 10-3, 2 clubs, king jack. And we're going to talk to Mike Zolker again at the end of the World Series of Poker. And I was talking to Mike about that hand, after it happened. I mean, because everybody who heard about this is just jaw-dropping. I mean, what a terrible fucking play this is. This wasn't a cooler. He got in with king jack against the one guy who could knock him out at the table. I remember Mike was telling me, he's like, you could have just double flatted ace king there and have him crush that way. I mean, and yeah, people used to do stuff like that. You saw that more often. You're always going to see random shit, but you saw people flatting people with ace king, flatting with ace king, and double flatting if there's a 3-bet. I mean, things like that happen more often. So the possibility of me having that hand was not particularly low. I mean, it low, but not particularly low. King jack offsuit. This is top pair, no kicker. Okay. Anyway, I got kings against this guy, and he's 4-bet me, and he's already done this to me twice. He's been walking on water all day. I knew we were kind of near the money in day 4. It wasn't going to take more than probably a couple hours, 2-3 hours, and I had chips. I mean, I wasn't deep, but I had chips. And I didn't want to stack off here, and I just thought, here we go again. I mean, it was in my head a little bit by this point. I've been very disciplined this whole tournament. I was just knowing when not to take chances for the most part. I folded. Yeah, I folded fucking pocket kings in the main event to a 4-bet. To an under-the-gun 4-bet who went after my really big 3-bet. I mean, I just thought, damn, he's sure not scared of anything. So we get into day 4, and, I played day 1A because I wanted maximum rest. So you get 2 days off because it was only 3-day ones. Then I had 1 day off after playing day 2A. which I think the day 2B, well, at least for this year's World Series, the day 2B players did not have a day off. They go right into day 3. So I've had 3 days off, whereas if you play, say, day 1C, by the time you get to day 3, you have only had 1 day off. And I thought the rest is very important. I mean, especially for someone who doesn't play a ton of hours each year, doesn't play these long hours day after day after day. I mean, I wanted as much rest as I could get. So when it comes to day 3, I'm coming off another day's rest. And day 4 is the first day I'm playing back-to-back days. And I was starting to feel some fatigue. And it was starting to show a little bit. And I lost another bad beat. I got all in with kings against ace-10 offsuits and lost that. Then I made a bluff in a spot I knew I shouldn't have. And then I think I just open jammed 6s from the cutoff. And that was probably stupid because I think I was underestimating my stack size. I don't even know how many blinds I shoved. So, that's kind of a crucial thing you want to know because you can't start making fucking mistakes when you're in the money. I mean, you can't make these kinds of... I mean, it's hard enough to make a deep run. I mean, small blind, ran into aces, and I got knocked out in 371st place. So I grossed about 33,000 minus 10. So what was that? About 23K win. Not bad. I was happy. It was like a feather in my cap, play my first main event, get into the money. I mean, yeah, I felt good. Remember on one of the breaks, someone from that Calvin Air website, I was just by myself. He asked me to do an interview, so I did a fucking interview. And when a play resumed, he comes by the table, he's filming me. I definitely tensed up a little bit. And when I saw the video of myself, as they're talking to me and they're showing the clip of me, I saw how it's not that weird, but I could see I could see how I'm not acting just totally natural there. Anyway, so this main event, you're of course reeling after you get knocked out from this. Doesn't matter what day. But then over the next coming days, I mean, I started hearing about how all that several Vegas locals were making deep runs to that final table. And I think there were 4 of them who got there. Jesse Sylvia got there. He came in second. Played with Jesse a bit at Bellagio. Jeremy Osmus, I think he came in 5th. Used to play cash with him, 10-20 or 10-20-40. Russell Thomas. I don't know. I've never met or played with Russell, but I know that he was local. He was at the final table. And maybe Greg Burson was the last one. Greg went on to win the event. I actually played with Greg a little bit that summer. He was wearing a Michael Jordan White Sox jersey, number 45, playing 10-20-40 at Bellagio. I got into some wild hands with him too. But anyway, I showed up to watch on day 7 because I heard all these locals were making runs and I was just curious to see. I know there are about 2 tables left. And then I show up to watch, and who do I see at one of these remaining 2 tables is that fucking kid who crushed me and crushed my soul with this runner King Jack crazy shit. He's still in. His name turned out to be Jacob Balsiger, and he came in 3rd fucking place. And I caught up with him on one of the breaks. I said, hey, what'd you 4-bet me with? He said, I had an ace. God! So he puts this runner crazy shit on me to take the chip lead. He 2-outs me again, turning a set of 3s. Then he bluffs me up fucking kings pre-flop, probably with just some suited ace wheel. I mean, I think he read my big 3-bet as weak instead of strong. So yeah, I mean, look, I at the time I made the fold, I actually felt pretty good about it. But yeah, I mean, how much would this have changed, my fate had I just gone with it here and maybe just taken it down presumably? I mean, I don't know. No one knows. But that mistake was obviously not nearly as significant as the beat I took from him earlier, I was playing good. I fucked up that time. Got inside my head a little bit. I mean, it's a little hard not to. It's a little hard not to when something like that happens to you in the main event. And this kid is just steamrolling the fuck out of everybody all day. Because what am I going to do if he just has it again, Don't tell me it's an easy spot. Don't tell me getting 4-bet when you have kings by this guy who's been steamrolling everybody and you're near the fucking money. Don't tell me that's an easy spot. But whatever. So, Jacob Balsiger, I mean, this bad beat. I mean, people were talking about this hand. I mean, I was playing cash later that summer. I'll name drop a little bit. Brad Booth was playing in this game. This game that used to go a couple times a week at the Suncoast. And I was just telling somebody about the hand. I wasn't even telling Brad, but he was there listening. He's like, I heard about this hand. I mean, there were articles. I saw Jake being interviewed about it. He's like, yeah, the guy had a set, and it's like I had just top pair, and I hit runner for a full house. I mean, in this beat, look, it could have happened to anybody. It happened to me. I mean,
but just my first World Series of main event, and to see just how big of a role I played in this main event in determining who made the final table that year. I mean, he was out the fucking door. I don't know what Jake's plans were with the rest of his life. I mean, he was out the door. I mean, I was tripping on mushrooms a few years after that, and I was telling my friend, I was like, Jesus, how did he win that hand? How did he win that hand? I was like, his whole fucking life changed after that hand. That hand changed the course of his fucking life. And going into that final table then, at the time, I had a horse back then who was playing cash for me, and then he hits me up, and he asked me, he's like, yo, I got invited to go be on Jacob's rail for the final table. He's like, do you mind if I go? Like, are you going to care if I go? And I think he was being, unnecessarily thoughtful. I mean, I was like, yeah, dude, I don't care if you go sweating. Like, that's got nothing to do with us. It's like, what am I going to get mad at him because he got invited to go sweat? I'm going to get all butthurt because the guy gave me a bad beat and now he's at the fucking final table. I mean, I'm not criticizing him for asking me. I just thought, like, what I was thinking was, what kind of a person would I be if I got butthurt that he went to go cheer this guy? Give me a fucking break. I mean, it's just poker. He won. He won the hand. 5% means 5%. But yeah, Jake Balsiger, who's, had a good career as a tournament player, as far as I know. I think I heard he was playing like 1-2 cash or something in Arizona. I mean, and now he comes in third of the fucking main event. And it's just like, he's going to go tell his backers. I mean, he's out the fucking door. He's going to go tell his backers, like, what happened? Who'd you get knocked out by? I don't know, some fucking pro. That's who I was. I was just some fucking pro. It was my first main event. Some pro with a set. That's what this story is. I mean, it's just basically the same thing as getting all in on the money on the turn over big pair versus pair. He's got 2 outs. The equity is pretty much the same. It's about 5%. But, obviously it feels a little different when you got a set versus one pair. And he's got to go perfect, then he does. He even have a backdoor flush draw. He just had backdoor straight and backdoor boat. That's it. There's a lot of turn cards he's drawing dead after. So, I give myself credit for rebounding from that bad beat and still getting into the money and just staying calm. I stayed calm after that happened. I made the bad fold later, but I was erring on the side of caution. So I got to come back the next year, right? So I do. I come back 2013. Same thing, took all the action, day 1A. Remember I had Faraz Jaka to my left, but he wasn't bothering me too much. That was nice. I was playing well in this tournament as well, and then I got into a spot where this one guy had gotten bluffed off of a huge pot. Someone bluffed all in on day 1 of the main event. Wow. Give him credit for that. He just did it with the dry ace of diamonds. Anyway, I open kings under the gun. I get 3-bet. I 4-bet the kings. He 5-bets all in. I call. He's got ace king. He turns an ace. That was a very big pot too. It wasn't anything like what I lost to Jake the year before in terms of equity and in terms of pot size and in terms of it being day 3. This was day 1. But Jesus, another one of these. I mean, and I come back on day 2 and I wasn't quite as disciplined on the days off. I mean, I remember I went out. I didn't go out partying and smoking crack all night. I just went out. The year before, after day 1A, I mean, I just stayed at home and did nothing for 2 days. And I wish I had done that in 2013. But that beat was, I'll admit, was like just bothering me the day before. I mean, it's like playing these fucking huge pots early in the event as fucking gigantic favorites. It's like, can I just hold up in one of these? Christ. And, I didn't play that great on this day. I made a bad call against the Euro. I made a bluff I wasn't happy with. I mean, I remember I doubled up right after the dinner break with like Queen 10 suited versus 8s, but then under the gun opened and I think I 3-bet shoved like King Queen off on the button and ran into kings. Jesus, how do I fucking just not snap fold this hand? I 3-bet shoved that hand from the button. Flopped a gut shot, but bricked. I think at the time there was a thought going on that like the under the gun raiser would use that as like it looks very powerful, especially if they have chips. Like they'll open very wide under the gun because it looks so strong because it's under the gun, so people will play very tight against it. But I mean, Jesus, 3-bet shoving that. I mean, I just was not happy with myself and just decided I'm not going to play a tournament for a while. And then a while turned into a long while. And then after a long while, I was like, well, fuck it. I don't want to break it now. So yeah, I haven't played any main event tournaments or any tournaments that I bought into since. It's 13 years ago. And I'm still happy about it. I mean, it's a great event and I love watching it and I love hearing about who's in it, Mike's in it. Sancti Sai is in it. But yeah, I just don't want to go back. As much as I want to go back, I don't want to go back. I haven't even really been that tempted. But we're just gonna go back. Let's turn back the clock for a second here. See, I told you all about this beat I took to Jake Balsiger, and then I think I come back and I when I was burnt out for a while and didn't play much poker from early 2017 till about September of 2020. I mean, yeah, basically 3.5 years. In that time, I dealt a little bit. I wasn't broke, but I wanted to work. I wanted to make some money. I mean, and dealing poker was pretty much the best paying job I could get. And, it just kind of made the most sense. And I felt like I had all the personality dispositions to deal. You take a lot of shit. It's a bit of a thankless job. I was insecure about it because I figured everyone would think I'm broke. I got a ton of double takes, but I decided, yeah, I'm a little insecure about this, but I'm doing it anyway. That's not going to stop me from doing it. But look, every time somebody came up to me, I was like, whoa, like, the hell are you doing? I was like, I felt like I had to mention I was burnt out from playing and, like, I just don't want to play right now. Like, I guess, look, you play all these years and years and years and people come to respect you, I don't want them to, it's like, does it matter what they think? No, but it's like, if people are thinking, oh, did Dan lose it all? I mean, because that would most likely be the case. Not too many people that do this for shenanigans, it's kind of like why I was doing it. But aside from that, I dealt the World Series in 2018, then I dealt the winner at the Bellagio, like the WPT was still going on there. I was probably there for about 10 weeks. And I figured that was it, but I ended up changing my mind and dealt the summer, again, 2019 World Series. And we get to the main event, and towards the end of day one, I deal a hand that knocks somebody out. I think he had like sevens or ace king, and it was I think sevens versus ace king was the hands. And I want to say the guy who got knocked out had sevens. He was in seat one. And then after he left, all of a sudden it hit me out of nowhere that I was like, wait, was that fucking Jake in seat one? Was that the guy who came in third? I mean, he is a guy I haven't seen or thought of. I mean, I'm only 1 degree of separation from him because we have mutual friends. I may have even been, I think I became Facebook friends with him. Maybe I did have a conversation with him at some time. I don't know. But like, I started thinking like, wait, was that him? And, you got the receipts still tucked into the rack. And unless they move tables, which I don't think anyone had yet, everyone who showed up that day, that player's receipt's going to be in the table. So I go through all the receipts, count all the way down to the last one. Jacob Balsiger. No fucking way. What are the odds of this? What is the cosmic fucking odds? I mean, bringing him back to me, I deal his knockout hand in 2019. Fuck you. With your stupid fucking epic punt with King Jack on day 3. Putting in piles, absolute piles against the one guy who can knock you out of this thing at this table. I sent him home. You can't make this shit up. I mean, it's just, look, I wasn't like genuinely mad or reaped any genuine satisfaction, but something, I don't know, karmically or what, something, that is just fucking crazy. And then I messaged him on Facebook and I told him, I was like, hey, so, I gave him a whole, oh God, I got every drop out of this. I gave him a whole big build up about how, like, I got tired of playing and now I'm dealing, so I'm doing the main event. And then there's this kid on my left and he gets knocked out. And it turned out it was you. I'm the guy who dealt your knockout hand. He didn't recognize me. I didn't recognize him until after he left. Now, if I had recognized him before he had been knocked out or anything, yeah, I would have absolutely said hi to him and cracked some jokes about what happened. Maybe even told the table if anyone wanted to know, but, never got to that point. But, damn, I mean, that is just unbelievable. That was the last series I dealt. I mean, that was the last job I had dealing, I think. I mean, remember I once dealt Golden Nugget for like a weekend. Like I was part of some tournament. And then I dealt some of the home games that popped up during the COVID shutdown. I mean, I only did that a few times, but yeah, then in September 2020, I decided to come back. So yeah, that's those are the tales from my main events. They're not uneventful, as you can see. I still think about that 2013 main event because I'm just so disappointed that I just didn't play great. I felt like I played pretty damn good in my first main event. I mean, I know folding kings pre is not a mistake most people make, so it makes it a very big mistake if you're making it, but I also took an excruciatingly terrible beat for the chip lead on day 3 and didn't bat an eye, basically. So they kind of just go hand in hand in a way, I suppose. I don't know. Maybe they don't. But yeah, excited to see how this year's friends do in the main event. And, still not sleeping that great, so I haven't played much cash. But I want to get back out there. Got probably one more week of busy play, and so I'm going to get after it soon. Talk to you soon, guys. See you next time.